Welcome back to Celebs Watch 211. This week, there was a heavy gunfire in Thongpiny suburb of Juba on Thursday night, that is on November 21st, 2024. The shootout occurred at the residence of General Akol Koor Kuc, the former Director General of the National Security Services, that is NSS, Internal Security Bureau. The Army's spokesperson, Major General Lul Roy, confirmed the incident to Radio Miraya during the breakfast show on November 22, 2024, and asked the general public to remain calm as the situation is getting better. In a news article published by Radio Tamazuj on November 21, 2024, Major General Lul Roy described the shooting as a misunderstanding between different levels of security forces at the residence of the former spy chief, Akol Koor. The Army's spokesperson explained that 2 layers of security had been assigned to protect General Akol Koor following his removal from the position of Director General back in October 2024, and that the gunshots that were heard last night were as a result of the conflict between the two forces, although he did not indicate what triggered the misunderstanding. Here's the audio interview of Major General Lul Roy by Radio Miraya.
So many people, especially out of Juba, woke up to information online, all kinds of information on what is happening in Juba. Are you able to reiterate the reasons behind the shooting that took place yesterday for about 2 hours from 8 up to 10?
Thank you very much. First and foremost, I would like to thank your radio station for helping in calming down the situation by recording and spreading the interview that we had some few minutes after the gunfire erupted. I would like also to make a correction that the shooting was sporadic. It did not continue for 2 hours that you had mentioned. We had 3 to 4 occasions of sporadic outbursts of small arms fire with some support weapons. But I'm glad to inform you that the information I gave yesterday remains the same. At the time, I reported that only 2 injuries were reported, and these injuries were sustained by our own security forces that were involved in the exchanges of gunfire. The other important thing that I would like to make very clear is that the night remained very peaceful. There were no reports of more gunshots being heard at the same place at the residence of the former spy chief. That's very important for those who are outside of Juba and for those who are far away from Thongpiny residential area to know that the night remained very quiet, very calm. And as the day breaks, we will gather more information on what that has fired, and if there are any increases in the number of people that might have sustained injuries among our security forces as well as the local population. But otherwise, the night was remained calm.
Major General, my name is Peter Okello. We are together with my colleague Lucy. There are quite a lot of rumors. Any update at the moment moving forward?
The day is so young. I was waiting to get done with the interview. I'm planning to go to the Chief of Defense Forces so that we jointly get the latest information. And once we get more information, apart from the ones I've already shared with you, I will not hesitate to call for an emergency media briefing so that the people of the Republic of South Sudan are kept up to date with the latest security developments.
And you talked about this situation being calm through the night, all through the morning. Now, a lot of people had to spend the night out of home, out of fear of what was happening. So what can you tell the people in terms of possibility of movement right now, from now onwards?
First and foremost, I would like to once again repeat the appeal that I had made yesterday, that whenever there is a problem at night, the safest place remains one's residence or where she is or he is staying. That's the safest place. Otherwise, leaving your home at night, it becomes more risky. Unless you are directly and the threat or threatened by the situation, like those who were very close to the residence of the former spy chief. Those are very genuine reason maybe of evacuating the area. But my appeal would be whenever there's a problem at night, the shooting and unexplained shooting, the safest place remains one's residence or place, and to assess the situation continuously. As of this morning, the situation still remains calm. We have not received any signs or indications of possibility of resumption of hostilities, and let our people remain vigilant. It is still 6:30 to it's almost going to 7. Let us wait until around 8:30 when official work hours begin. But I strongly believe in between I will be in a position to do a quick assessment with the concerned authorities that are in charge of different sectors within Juba, and within that time frame, maybe 1 hour, 2 hours from now, I will be able to also give the latest update on the normalcy of the situation.
And earlier you talked about two army people injured. What about civilians?
That would be the second leg of our assessment. We'll get in touch with those who are within the vicinity to find out whether there were any civilians wounded in the crossfire. Because the fight, like I had said yesterday, was between our own security forces that were deployed at the residence. But if there are any casualties that were taken by civilians within that vicinity, this information that we'll gather, and we shall quickly come out with the other stakeholders, maybe the spokesperson of South Sudan, police service, and the local administration to gather information and come out jointly to give the latest security updates.
Moving on, General, is there any deployment, any additional deployment at the moment this morning?
No, so far I have not been told that there was an additional deployment. Apart from the deployment that was done yesterday, beefing up of security situation around the major roundabouts that you all know about, as well as along major roads, there was increased vehicle patrols and foot patrols. But as of this morning, I have not received any information. But of course, I'm preparing to get out, and seeing is believing. So I'll continuously update your station among other media outlets.
As at the time Major General Lul Roy was interviewed by Radio Miraya, around 2 casualties had been reported, and he said he was going to get more statistics with regards to the incident. He also mentioned that the Chief of Defense Forces, General Santino Dengwall, managed to de-escalate the situation. When contacted by Radio Tamazuj, the police spokesperson, Colonel John Kasara Kong, urged the Juba residents to remain calm following the reports of heavy gunfire in Thongpiny residential area, indicating that the situation was currently under control.
What is the current situation, and if there is a possibility of a movement of people from where they are?
Well, thank you very much, my dear listeners. The current situation is normally calm since yesterday after the gunshot, and we are actually under the controlling the situation.
And can people move right now, or do they still need to stay where they are?
They should go to the normal routines as usual.
All right. So are there any checkpoints? Will there be expectations of some blockages in some roads? Yes.
It is only in that side of Thongpiny, but the other residential areas are normal. There is no any checkpoints in regard to that.
So when you say movement can continue as normal, does this mean that schools will also function as normal? As today we expect that the primary 8 pupils will be sitting their final exams as well.
Yeah, as long as the situation is normal and everything is calm, so I urge our students to go to school for their examination.
All right. When you say as long as situation is normal, what we need you is to give us the direction. Is it normal for that to happen, or do they need to remain still vigilant?
They should actually remain vigilant because, as I told you, that there is this side of Thongpiny where there is a road blocked, and the security forces are also checking those cars that are coming from residential areas to go into to this side of the town. So our people also should remain vigilant and remain until 8 when everything is clear at that side of Thongpiny. But on the other side of other residential areas, people should actually go.
And speaking of the area within Thongpiny, Colonel, are you saying that the residents of Thongpiny should not be moving and only the residents from the other side are permitted to be moving?
They should actually move, but at the time that I'm not now talking to you, it is still hard at 7, and we are still getting some information in regard to that residential area. We should just actually be vigilant until 8.
All right, so what you're saying is they should wait until 8 if you're in Thongpiny or around Thongpiny in order to move from their location?
Yeah, in fact, they should wait until we gather more information about the sector of that area.
Okay, thank you for that clarity. Yeah. And now we are wondering about casualties, civilian casualties. We heard that there are 2 army personnel who were wounded. What about civilians? Is there any update on that?
On my side here, there is no any other update, but I'm still searching for more details, and once I get them, I will actually give you a call.
Okay. What other information do you have for us?
For now, I don't have any information in regards to the casualties.
Okay. Thank you very much for joining in. What message can you share with the people?
I just want to assure our civilians that the situation is calm since yesterday till this morning hour in most of the residential areas of Juba. And for those who are residing at that side of Thongpiny, let them remain vigilant until 8. And for the other people who are living in other residential areas, they should actually go to the normal routines and let people not panic. Your security forces are actually in control of the situation.
Thank you very much.
Several residents of Juba also confirmed that the shooting had stopped shortly after and that it was relatively calm within Thongpiny and its neighborhood. The SSBC shared this video of High Sora that is around University of Juba Road, where citizens are seen to be going about their business as usual on Friday morning. Video courtesy of Abraham Aken. Some pictures of people under beds emerged and people made memes out of them with the aim of making light of the situation at hand. Although the direct genesis of this conflict has not been disclosed by either the government or supporters of Akol Koor, we all know that it has something to do with him being fired from the position of the National Security Service, that is NSS. If you all can remember, then a few weeks ago, I covered the story of Akol Koor, how he got fired from being the Director General of the NSS, a position he had held since the independence of South Sudan in 2011, and then being appointed as the Governor of Warab State. By then, he was out of the country, so a lot of people guessed that President Kiir gave him that position so as to lure him into coming back to the country. And upon arrival, he got fired the following day. He had not even been sworn into the new position. It is alleged that Akol Koor has been under house arrest since his return from the United Arab Emirates after losing his position as the Director General of the National Security Services. Given what we know, it's reasonable to believe that the current conflict between President Salva Kiir's Tiger Division and those soldiers who are currently loyal to General Akol Koor is simply a power struggle. This is because Akol Koor was extremely powerful as the Director General of the National Security Services, and along the way he kind of ended up rubbing shoulders with different people and creating a lot of enemies for himself, much more than he needed to. Therefore, losing such a position not only interrupted Akol Koor's political ambitions, but also rendered him powerless as well as vulnerable, as he is currently only able to rely on the security apparatus at the mercy of the state. Let me know what your thoughts are in the comment section. Do you think Akol Koor is biting more than he can chew by putting up a fight against the regime, or he stands a chance?